Hello, everybody. This is Dee from Dee's Cute and Crafty, and I am back this month as part of the Heidi Sonboul DIY Fall Challenge. Thank you, Heidi, for hosting such an awesome event. I enjoy crafting so much, you guys. It's crazy. Halloween, fall, Christmas, farmhouse, doesn't matter. Anything and everything. It's my zen. It's my happy place. So this was a lot of fun for me. There will be a link in the description box below for Heidi Sonboul's channel, for Heidi Sonboul's DIY Fall Challenge, and a link for all of the other content creators that are participating in this October's DIY Fall Challenge. There will be a link for a playlist. So please click on all those links. The playlist link, the Heidi Sonboul channel link, the Heidi Sonboul DIY Fall Challenge for her video. That link, click on all of it. You'll be glad you did. This is all for inspiration. It's also we can get to know each other, and it's just awesome. I could talk about it all day, but I know you guys want to see what I got going on. You want to see what I created, right? So, that being said, let's get to the video. Let's craft something beautiful today. Bye, guys. DIY number one is a fatty pumpkin. I have some window clings from Walmart for 98¢, my homemade white chalk paint, one of the wood pumpkins from Dollar Tree, some of the spooky flowers from Dollar Tree, various ribbons and fabric scraps, and some jute twine. I will also be using the Waverly chalk paint in the color Elephant. So let's go ahead and get this painted with my homemade white chalk paint. Just a rough paint job, nothing, neat or fancy about it. Just get the paint on there because we're going to distress it anyway, and we only want one coat. So if there's some wood peeking through, that's even better. Going in with that elephant and just going to distress it on the edges all the way around. Now I'm going to add the window cling, starting with the Happy Halloween first, laying down some Mod Podge, and then I'm just going to put that one in the middle. I'm going to put the bats on the outside edge, and I'm going to Mod Podge underneath and on top just to sew everything in. Now I'm just going to go ahead and wrap some jute twine around the stem of the pumpkin, just to give it a little extra something. And I'm going in with these Dollar Tree Spooky Florals. I'm just going to pull them apart because I want the branches, and I'm going to cut the leaves up. And I also want that spider. Now I'm just going to put together my messy bow. I love a good messy bow. They're so hard to mess up. They're absolutely adorable, and I'll use them on everything I absolutely can. And I'm just going to tie that messy bow to the stem of the pumpkin with some jute cord, and we're going to call it done. On to DIY number 2. For DIY number 2, we're going to use the skeleton hand from the Dollar Tree and these bones from the Dollar Tree, some spooky florals from Dollar Tree, and some from Joann's as well. My homemade black chalk paint, some Elephant Waverly chalk paint, my homemade white chalk paint, a repurposed candlestick that I made, in the spring of last year, one of the Dollar Tree foam pumpkins, and I think that might be it. Various ribbons. So we're going to go ahead and give this pumpkin 2 coats of black paint. Set it aside to let it dry. Going to go ahead and paint this repurposed candlestick holder in the color Elephant from Waverly and distress it with my homemade white chalk paint. Now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and pull that little green stem out of the top of the pumpkin, and using my X-Acto knife, I'm going to go in and make the hole bigger. I'm going to take my dowel and put it in the bottom of the hand. There's already a hole there. And the other thing I love about the hand is you don't have to paint it. It looks perfect just the way it is. So I'm going to go ahead and open the top of that pumpkin up just a little bit more so that I can put in some foam pool noodle. I love using the pool noodle, more so than the floral foam because you get more bang for your buck, and it's not as messy as the floral foam. So we're going to just go ahead and stick that hand down in there and secure it with some hot glue. Be careful how much you use because it will melt your foam and you will have a gooey mess. Now I'm going in with my spooky florals and I'm just cutting them apart, pulling them apart so that I can place them where I want them. Sorry about the lighting. I don't know what happened here, but it will stop in just a moment. So now I'm just taking little loops of ribbon. I cut some strips and I folded them over, and now I'm just stuffing them down inside of the foam pumpkin to make it look like there are loops of a bow coming out of it. Just various pieces of ribbon, different colors, textures, and I'm just stuffing them down in there using a wooden dowel to push them in. And I didn't have to use glue because they really fit in here tight, so they're fine the way they are, which was great, not to have to use a lot of glue on this. Now I'm taking strips of ribbon and I'm going to go ahead and dovetail the ends and just do a little bit of a fold at the top. Just pinch it, and I'm going to stuff that down inside of the pumpkin and let the tail drape over the outside of the pumpkin to look like these loops of ribbon are an actual bow. And then I'm going to go ahead and hot glue that pumpkin onto the top of this repurposed candlestick. And I'm going to add the crossbones at the bottom. And we're going to call it done. On to DIY number 3, which is my Thanksgiving DIY. We're going to use various ribbons, paddle wire, some paint, the word thankful from Hobby Lobby, some Dollar Tree spackle, one of the Dollar Tree plank signs, some florals from Joann's, and a tobacco basket from Walmart. I'm going to start out by putting some spackle in those holes of that plank. Going in with my gator and sanding it down just a little bit to make sure everything is smooth. And then I'm going to paint it with my homemade white chalk paint. Again, just a rough paint. If the wood is peeking through, that's fine because we're going to go back and distress it. Using my antique wax by Waverly, I'm just dry brushing it. Going in with my gator, I'm going to sand down the edges and smooth it out a little bit and just soften it up. And now I'm going to hot glue my, well, actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to set it to the side because my glue gun's not on, you guys. So I'm going to do something else while it heats up. So let's take the tag off of the tobacco sign. And I've got all my florals cut. These were really, really pretty. I should have got 2. And I did get these at Joann's and they were on sale. I don't remember for how much though. But I've got my pieces all cut up and I'm just laying them in the basket, seeing where I want them to go before I add the jute twine to the bottom that's going to hold them together. I am going to try to use as little glue as possible on this tobacco basket so that I can use it again for other seasons because it's just really pretty. And I don't want to just have it for fall. I want to have it all year round. So if I don't put a lot of glue on everything, I can take it apart and reuse it. Now I'm going in with my, let's see, my Dollar Tree furniture marker in the color walnut. And we're going to do hot glue and wood glue for that long-term, short-term hold. And we're going to get it glued to this plank. I got my florals all attached with that jute twine. And I'm going to take the ends of the jute twine, feed it through the holes of the basket, and tie it onto the basket from the back. Now I'm going to use this ribbon I got from Hobby Lobby, which is super cute, and just loop over itself a couple of times to make some loops. To get my bow, just pinch it in the middle. And I love a good stacked bow, so we're going to do the buffalo check orange, and I think this came from Joann's. Make a couple loops, stack those on top of the other ribbon. And then I have some burlap ribbon. Not even sure where that came from. Make a couple loops and stack it on top of the orange ribbon. Pinch it in the middle, tie it with some jute, make some tails, and you got a bow. Just going to glue that sign down. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and attach that bow using some paddle wire. Again, just going to feed it through the basket and twist it together on the back. Now for the reveal. I hope you guys love it as much as I do. I had so much fun being a part of this challenge. Thanks again to Heidi Sonboul and all the other awesome creators. I hope you guys like this content. I hope you'll consider subscribing. Happy crafting. Craft something beautiful today, you guys. Bye.